Hi, friends. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. It is after Sabbath. We just came off of Sabbath a few hours ago and hitting the books again. I'm in finals. Me and my husband are both in finals. So we're trying to get our work done. But I wanted to check in with everybody and hope everyone's doing okay and staying warm. Guys, it's been getting really cold here in Georgia, in middle Georgia. It got down to 22. It's been so dry. I don't know if other people are experiencing this, but there's been like little humidity. It's been like 20% humidity, which is very dry. RJ's been sneezing, and I keep telling him hydrate, drink water, because I did some research, and apparently when it's really dry, your body activates its own histamine systems. So that's when you get your runny nose, and you start getting that phlegm in your chest because it's trying to compensate for the lack of moisture in your body. So I'm staying on him and telling him, drink water please, because he's already been sneezing and coughing. But we got plenty of teas to combat that. I'm going to be making something with like heavy garlic to make sure, because garlic is like your natural antibiotic. I mean, there's people who will just eat garlic like that, but I like to saute it. I think I'm going to make some of those edamame pods that I made last time. But I'm doing my last paper for the semester, and then I got a final. So I got my government final, which is going to be piece of pie, piece of cake. And I'm doing my last paper for my social welfare class. And I picked a government program. From the list that she gives you pick a government program, a social welfare program, which I'm looking at this list, guys, and there's like so many on here that I had no idea existed. And the crazy part is a lot of people don't know that these programs exist, so they don't take advantage, or to not take advantage, but don't if you don't know about it, you're not going to like try to apply and access the benefits, right? And the one I chose to do was Older Americans Act Family Caregiver Program. And I'm like, wow, apparently if you have a parent who is on low income or something, you can actually apply for benefits for them through you. Like if you help them, I'm like, okay, I need to do some more research in that. But there's like a whole bunch of other ones that I had no idea existed. Like, let's see, foster grandparents. I knew about foster parents. I knew about that. I didn't know foster grandparents was a thing. And so I'm going to look into that. And then also Senior Community Service Employment Program. I mean, there's some of these things that I'm like, can my family benefit from accessing some of these programs for my mom, like my mother-in-law? I don't know. I'm going to be looking this up. But yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot of things on here that I'm like, we need to look into that. But anyway, so I was prepping food. Hold on, I got a notification for my job. Okay, I was prepping food for Sabbath, right? And I was heating up my pan, my avocado oil, and RJ had bought me some ground beef, right? And you know those trays that the ground beef comes on? Like the little white tray. Okay, so my oil had already started to smoke, right? So I was like, okay, my oil's ready to cook. And I wasn't paying attention. And I took that white pan that the meat is on, right? That little thing, that little styrofoam thing. And I had it up too high. And when I went to dump it in the pan, right? I went boom. And when I did that, the grease splashed me. Look, I know it looks funny because it splashed me and then it started rolling. So I got burnt here, a little bit further down, because I was just wearing a tank top like when I was cooking, and I got burned under my armpit. This one was the worst because guys, you could literally, hold on. You can literally see how the grease started to drip. And yesterday it was all puffed up. See, here's a burn. Here's the biggest burn, this burn. And then there's one in my armpit. But this one was the worst. It even came over here. And I just knew I have some calamine on it. The calamine lotion, guys, has been helping. But look how it looks like a drip, right? Like drip cake icing, but it hurt. I was like, I didn't overreact. I remember being like, because my initial reaction, I wanted like go like this and like wipe it off, right? But I knew already the way the grease was so hot in the pan, like it was smoking. I knew. I was like, oh man, I done burnt myself bad. But I just stayed calm because my initial reaction was like, oh, like it hurt. And I didn't want to tell RJ because RJ hates when I hurt myself, because then we do this to each other. Like I'll hurt myself and then he starts yelling at me like, why are you wearing a tank top when you're cooking? Where's your apron? Like, you know, like instead of like helping calm the other person down, we start yelling at each other. I've done it to him too. You know, like if he hurt himself, what? Like one time, guys, he got stung by a whole bunch of wasps. He had to go kill wasps. I don't know if you guys know this, but in Georgia, there's underground, the wasps make nest under the ground. And he went to go to war with them, but I guess he didn't know that there were hundreds of bees out there, and he didn't wear protective, like his PPE, protective equipment. And he came in and he had been stung, and next thing you know, about 2 hours later, his hands were swole up like the hamburger helper hands on the on the box with the little white gloves. And he got bit in the chest, and he was just, and instead of me like trying to calm him down and keep him I was like, well, you didn't listen to me, and why didn't you tape, and so yesterday when I told him I burnt myself, it hadn't popped up yet. It was still like cooking. No, I don't know. It was like I had just barely, I went to the bathroom and I took a wet paper towel and I placed it like that, like this on my chest, and I was like holding it there, and I was like, okay, that feels a little better, because it hadn't set in yet, like the heavy burn feeling, it hadn't set in. And so I was like, all right, I'm okay, but an hour went by, an hour and a half went by, and it started to hurt. And I had put, what did he tell me? But he said, put Neosporin on it. Girl, anybody, girl, man, child, whoever's listening, don't put Neosporin on a burn. That junk, it amped up the burn. Like my burn, I was like, it was like hurting. It was like hurting all the way behind my, like it was hurting in my back. Like I started to feel shaky and kind of nauseous, and I was like, oh. And I don't know, it just made me feel really weird. I told RJ, I was like, man, I don't feel good. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I feel nauseous. And he was like, yeah, burns can do that to you. Because guys, it was like radiating inside, like behind the burn. It was like back behind the burn. It was hurting. And I was like, whew, like I was getting nauseous. And really what was happening was the Neosporin was, and it got like it started to swell up like puffy. Like it's not swollen at all. Because what we did was we wiped off the Neosporin, and we put the calamine lotion, that pink calamine. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, as soon as he started putting that stuff on there, it killed the burn. And like my nerves started to calm down a little bit. But like this is the first time of me hurting myself like this since all of that. Because I don't know if you guys know, when you come off of like Xanax and stuff, like the benzodiazepine, like it affects your nervous system. So all the nerves behind this burn, it was like my nervous system was like super active. Like I was like shaking, but it didn't feel like that until after I put the Neosporin. So guys, do not put Neosporin on a burn. It hurt. And maybe I was just having a reaction, but what I had was that I had some Neosporin pain reliever stuff. And so I just been keeping it like this, and I've been putting that calamine on it. The burn on my arm right here, it doesn't hurt. It's just this one right here that hurts, and then these little marks here. But whoo, child, it hurt. I thought about my because I have burned myself like further down, on my breast. I'm telling you, I was straightening my hair in the bathroom. This was many years ago. I was straightening my hair in the bathroom, and my towel had fallen, and the straightener, it was like one of those ones that go to like 450 degrees or something. Man, that thing, I was using it, and it had fall, like somehow it fell. And when it fell, it rolled, and I caught it like this. Or no, I smushed my chest up like this against the sink to catch it like instinctively. But when I did that, it burned my boob. So now I have this burn, and then I have another burn like further down, a scar. But so RJ's like, my goodness. And he was like, it looks like something just like splat, like it just went boop. And I don't know. I was wondering, the reason I was telling you guys this was because how do you like keep something from scarring? Because I don't want it to scar. I mean, I don't mind if it scars. I'm not, I'm not like that. I'm like, yeah, scar, whatever. But I was thinking about some of that bile oil, or what is that, vitamin E oil? I don't know. You guys have to let me know. My sister Tara, I had showed her my burn when it happened, right? And she said to put salt, but it was already like so close to the Sabbath, and I had already put the calamine, and I was like running out of time, and I was like, oh, I don't want to, like, I didn't want to chance it and have another bad reaction like I did with the Neosporin. So I knew my body like does well with calamine, like when I get ant bites or mosquito bites, or, like if you get like poison oak or poison ivy. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the calamine. And I'm telling you, when RJ put that calamine on there, I mean, it took the burn, like that stinging, it took it out. But I showed her today how it looked, and she was like, you need to get some aloe. And the crazy thing about it, guys, I can't find no aloe vera that doesn't have like a whole bunch of like synthetic ingredients. But she reminded me, she's like, buy an aloe plant. And I was like, oh, duh. Like, why didn't I think of that? Buy an aloe plant. So I think when RJ goes out tomorrow, if he goes to work, I don't know if he decides to, because we're up against deadlines for real. Like, the semester is over in December 12th. So like this paper's due tomorrow at midnight. So I'm like we gonna be up all night. But and some of the college classes, how they do they open up all the assignments, and they're like, hey, have at it. Just make sure all your work is completed. So I'm so excited because it's almost over, guys. The fall semester is almost over, and then we get a break, and I get like from December 12th to January 16th. So I'm going to have some time to catch up on some chores, get my house back in order. I'm telling you, man, it'd be exhausting, but if it all comes together, we have a plan, if it be the will of the Father. But anyway, you guys let me know in the comments, what have you used for burns, like that have helped with the burning sensation, and also like for scarring. I would really like some information. I'm gonna ask my husband if he can maybe go by Home Depot and pick up a aloe vera plant, and I'm gonna use that, because I know aloe works for sure, because my mother-in-law, she's avid. I mean, she is faithful with that aloe vera. And when we came to Georgia, I'm gonna give you guys a little story time. When we came to Georgia, remember, guys, me and RJ were in the worst state of life, right? Remember, we were coming off drugs. We were moving from anything familiar that we'd ever known, coming to live with his parents, which he was unsure about, because him and his stepdad had some, how stepdads and sons can be, that's just normal family stuff. But we were nervous, right? And before we left San Antonio, we had gotten to an argument, and RJ had always kept a knife on him. He didn't have a gun at the time, so he had a knife. And we got into a bad argument. And I don't know about any of you guys, but when I used to get mad, because I don't even let myself get to that point. Like, if there's something in my life that's causing me that much stress, I'm like, it don't even belong in my life. Like, I'm gonna practice the fruits of the spirit that the scriptures talk about. And getting upset about that kind of stuff is not living by the word of the Father. So I'm like, I don't even let myself get to that point, because now that I'm older, I can't even let my body get that stressed out. Like, I'll be like shaking, and it just does something to me. But we got into an argument, and he had the knife in his hand, which, I don't know, guys, don't ever start arguing and you guys got weapons and stuff, or things that can hurt, because when you get to that blackout angry kind of stuff, it's dangerous for everybody. But my silly behind, I went and grabbed that knife. And RJ used to keep this knife, because in the military, he was in the Army for 10 years, and they train you how to keep your weapons right. And I'm telling you, he had knife training and all that, combat knife training. So So he would sit there. That was his thing. He would sit there and he'd sharpen that knife. And it wasn't a small knife. This knife was like, it was a dagger. Okay. And me being so silly, I grabbed onto that knife. And when I did, let me see if I can show you. When I did, let's see, can you see? I don't know. It kind of hurts to open it, but let me see if I can do this better. Okay, so when I did, let me try to get it focused. So when I did, I grabbed it like in here. I don't know if you guys can see that scar, but I have a scar that goes all the way from here and it goes all the way down to here. So I literally almost cut my thumb off is what happened. It hurts. I still to this day, I can't hold anything like this inside of it, because when it happened, we went to the emergency room and the nurse told me, she says, you're going to have to come back for corrective surgery, because apparently I had cut the nerve. You can kind of see it there. Because all they did for me in the emergency room was sew it up. And, so even still to this day, I get like shooting pain all the way up my arm, like all the way here. You can kind of see it a little bit, but yeah, you can see the scar. That's how it is right there. That's where I grabbed the knife. So he had the knife in his hand, and what I did is I grabbed it, boom, like that. Like I just put my hand like to it, and that thing was so sharp. As soon as my hand touched, that knife went down, boom, like that, and cut it, and blood started squirting out. And I just remember grabbing it. You can see it like there. And so I grabbed it like this, and I told him, like, you need to tie a tourniquet. And he tied the tourniquet because it was like blood shooting out like that. And then we went to the emergency room. He's like, why did you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I was mad and I wasn't thinking. And so they were like telling me, like, you need to come back to have corrective, like to attach the tendon back. I never went back. We moved to Texas. Like, they had prescribed me a whole bunch of like antibiotics and painkillers, like Vicodin and stuff. I didn't even get them, we didn't get them filled, because we were in a, hey, we gotta tighten up and we gotta get out of here. Cause look, these things are happening. But anyway, when we came to Georgia, I came and my hand was all like, all messed up, and I had stitches all the way down here, all the way in here. I had a whole bunch of stitches down in here. And when we came, we showed his mom, and she started, from the day we got here, she started pouring that aloe vera. She had an aloe vera plant, and she'd take the aloe vera plant and she'd put the stem in a bag, and so it would have like the juice come off of it, like the gel. And she started pouring that gel and that juice on my hand, and I'm telling you, it healed up. Let's see, you can see it in there. See that scar? Yeah, you can see it. It healed up so well, like fast too. And I was like, how am I supposed to go back and get these stitches out? We didn't have to. Those stitches, we just like, when it healed up, it was weird because the wound like pushed those stitches up, and they like made like a little loop, and we just cut them stitches off all the way, and it healed up. And I haven't had any trouble with it. I mean, RJ will tell you sometimes when he'll hand me something, I'll go to reach it because I don't have feeling in this thumb. And that's what they were telling me. Like, you won't have feeling in this thumb. I don't. Like, even here, like, you can, like, when I go like this, I can feel it, but not, it almost feels like when you sit on your foot or your hand falls asleep, like, I can feel it a little bit. But I've like actually burned this finger cooking and not even realized that my finger was burning because I can't feel it. But that, I know that aloe juice, that aloe vera plant, it works. So I'm hoping, and see if RJ can give me one to put on this. Because guys, this junk, it hurts. Like, it hurts in my back. Because, like, have you ever hurt yourself so bad where your body, like, it just hurts? Let's see. Yeah, it hurt. RJ doesn't want me touching it. He said, don't touch it. But yesterday it was like, swole. There's the other piece right there. Guys, and then it went in my armpit. Guys, it hurts so bad. It hurts. It hurts. But I told RJ, don't it look like the United States? And he was like, no, girl, it looks like a bird. But anyway, that's what we're doing. And I think tomorrow I'm going to do a day in the life, or maybe even go live because it's Sunday. But I just wanted to check in with everybody and see how everybody was doing. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. And let me know, is it super dry where you are? Do you guys have on your humidifiers in your house? I took out my Vicks humidifier, you know, like the round one that's like round, you buy it at the Walmart for like 14 bucks. I've had that for a while. I took it out and I put some tea tree oil and some eucalyptus oil and some peppermint, you know, because that 3 combinations is supposed to like detoxify the air. But it's been helping us because it's been so dry. Like I was waking up and my throat was like, my dogs too. My dogs have been drinking, like I could hear Sierra and Tango when they're drinking water because it's like super dry. I'm like, wow, but we're supposed to be getting some rain Monday and Tuesday. So hopefully the humidity will go back up a little bit to at least like 60%. But I didn't realize, I've never really paid attention to like the weather when it is dry like this. But anyway, all right, love you guys. Bye.